Hey, I'm Zach, and I'm going to show you how to analyze usability test sessions in Aurelius. What I want to do is get data into Aurelius, and there's a bunch of ways you can do that. But if you're doing user interviews in your project, we typically suggest creating a new note group for every interview that you have. Once you have that, there are several ways you can get data into Aurelius. Obviously, you can actually be taking your notes here during the interview if you prefer having a live note taker. This is 100% real-time collaborative. If you hit enter, what you do is you get a new note block, and everybody can be in here working together, taking notes during the interview itself. The other way of getting notes and data into Aurelius is using our magic upload feature. So what happens here is you actually grab some interview notes or data, and what you can do is turn those into notes in Aurelius. So it'll ask you if you want to create notes. You say yes, and I'm just uploading this sample PDF that has some example interview notes. And so you see what happens here is it actually extracts all the notes from that PDF and adds them into our Aurelius project. Now, our most popular way of getting notes and data into Aurelius is our transcriptions. So I've already done one here. What you would do is just simply upload an audio or video file, transcribe that, and then you'll be good to go. You can see we have that entire transcript here in Aurelius. So now, once you have data inside Aurelius, you want to start analyzing it, and there are a number of ways to do that. You can see I now have a sample usability test video that I dropped in here and transcribed, and the first thing we're going to use to start analysis is our AI Assist feature. When you click AI Assist, it generates a summary paragraph of exactly what happened from the data in this note group. And then it goes and generates key themes. So just like we would as UX researchers and product researchers, we want to get to the highlight points that came out of the interview, or in this case, a usability test. So you can actually work with these themes and this summary by taking them and capturing insights right from the summary, or capturing insights right from these themes. So a really good one that I notice here is that clarity and offer explanations. There was some terminology used in here that was unclear and confusing to somebody, and that seems like a great candidate to capture an insight from. So as you see, AI Assist gives you the summary paragraph and the themes automatically. And inside Aurelius, we can then turn those into key insights, which we are able to edit and adjust any way that we want to. But we can also, tag these as confusion and let's say terminology. And this is going to be a findable key insight in our project and across all projects in Aurelius. And we just went from data to insights in seconds. Now, you don't have to use AI Assist to do your analysis, but it will absolutely give you a quick summary and an idea of things to look for in your data. Now, of course, if you want to go in here and actually analyze your data manually, Aurelius has several ways to do that. Now, I've gone in and actually edited this transcript a little bit to give us a scenario where this was a usability test, and I marked where task 1, task 2, etc. were happening in this transcript. So what we did is then went in here and tagged all of these different notes as task 1, because we're going to be able to view this tag by task 1 later, as well as many other tags and themes that are involved with task 1 later on as well. One of the things that you can do, of course, if you're going through this data manually, is you can actually highlight and tag this stuff at the same time. So if we wanted to tag this, let's say as purchasing, we can do that really quickly, change the color of that if we want to, and we're good to go. But one of the things that really separates Aurelius is the ability to do this in bulk. So I'm actually going to go back and reference some themes in AI Assist, because in one case, it talks about there was an ease of understanding the plan rates, and folks found that difficult to understand. So I'm going to go in here and actually search for the word rate. Now you can see I have a bunch of notes that have the word rate, card rates, check the rates, tells me the rates and plans, etc. Now these are all under task 1. With Aurelius, I can select all those notes at once and tag those as rates. And now what that does is tags every single note with rates, and we're going to actually be able to view and segment this data based on rates later on. Now again, I'm going to reference AI Assist because there were a number of key themes that came out of here. Another one was around pricing. So let's go in here and actually look for the word cost. Perfect. You can see we have 10 notes with the word cost in here. And again, a lot of them actually were involved with task 1. So once more, I can select every single one of these and tag them as both price and cost. Tags all 10 notes with both of those tags, and I can view and segment this data by that later. Now, as I'm going through, especially in a usability test, I'm searching for the word cost, and we're hiding any notes that don't match. But if I want to see this in context, I can dim the notes that don't match. So I can actually come down here, still see where that word was mentioned in context, and even open up and play this video to reference stuff as I'm doing my analysis. Now, as I scroll down here, I see this, don't show that message again. Okay, computer, all right. So this was something that kind of seems like they were getting confused about, which might be a pain point. So we can absolutely go ahead and tag this, let's just say, as pain point, which would be useful for us to see. But the other thing we can do is we can mark these notes that are confusing, let's say as a failure in task. We can actually mark those as negative. And we're going to be able to filter off of these things later as well. Now that we have all of our data tagged and we want to start doing deeper analysis, you can jump into the project tags page. This is going to show us every tag we're using in this research study. So we can very easily come in here and see everything we tagged as task 1 and get all of that data here to spend more time with it and make sense of it. Now, one of the things Aurelius does simply to help speed up your analysis is we will show you subtags. So of these 34 notes that we tagged under task 1, one of them was tagged pain point, 8 were tagged pricing, 8 were tagged cost. So what we can do is very quickly filter and segment off of that to see those 8 notes that were from task 1 and also about pricing. And we can grab all of those, and if we make sense of it, just like on the notes page, we can select all of those notes and we can tag those in bulk. We can also capture new insights with those notes right now, or even add them to an existing insight. The other thing that happens here is that when we select, let's say, task 1 and pricing, it again is going to give us all of the notes and data that match with those selected tags. You will also see automatic keyword analysis. So these are keywords and how often they came up in this set of data. So interesting again is we see the word plan came up 6 times within these 4 notes. What I can do is come in here and select all 4 notes and tag those as plan. So now I've created yet even another segment or a sub-theme that I can view and slice and dice my data to make sure I'm not missing anything and make sense of everything that we learned in this usability test. Yet another way to make sense of this data is to go and use the analysis board. The analysis board is going to let you select any tag from your project, and it will create a new column specifically with the data in that tag. So as you can see here, we have task 1 with the 34 notes specifically tagged as task 1. We also have pricing and all the 10 notes that we have tagged as pricing. The best part of this is just like the tags page, for each one of these columns, we will show you the subtags and automatic keyword analysis. So we can come in here and say, we're going to see everything with task 1 that was also tagged with rates. We're also going to go down here, see everything we tagged as pricing that also was tagged rates. So this is interesting. There may be an overlap here. And just as you would do in a digital whiteboard tool or even post-it notes on the wall, is gather these notes and group them together to make sense of it, like an affinity diagram. You can do that right in Aurelius. We'll create a new theme. And so we will call this plans and rates feedback. Okay, now once we have that, we can take any of the notes we're working with on the left-hand side from these tags and simply drag and drop them into that theme. There's many ways to look at this data and work with it as well. So if we wanted to change the view of this, we can do that. And taking a look at all of this different data that we tagged as task 1, pricing, and even the themes we have, We can come in here and still filter all of this by keyword. We can filter this by sentiment and get a very quick view of all the data that we're working with. And when we're ready, if we're ready to take these themes, for example, and turn those into insights, you can do that right in Aurelius as well. Capture a key insight with all these supporting notes attached to it that will be findable by keywords and tags across every project in Aurelius.